All right, so the 5 on the right, you needed to find the factors of negative 54 on number 10. Okay, so the factors that would give you a 3 in the middle would be 6 and 9. And to get a positive 3, you'd have to do 9 minus 6. Okay, so it'd be S minus 6 and S plus 9. Okay, factors of negative 28. And we're trying to get a 3 in the middle. So 4 and 7 would give you a 3 in the middle. And to get a positive 3, our bigger number has to be positive. So we're going to give the negative to the 4. Okay, 7 minus 4 gives you 3. So we have n minus 4 and n plus 7. Okay, 14, factors of negative 6. Now we need 2 that'll add or subtract to give you 5, right? There's 2 factors that'll do that. 1 and 6, you could get 5 from that. 2 and 3, you could also get a 5 from that. So let's say you pick 2 plus 3, that gives you 5, right? Now, if you multiply those, do you get a negative 6? And you don't, you get a positive 6. So it can't be 2 and 3. It's going to have to be 6 minus 1 to give you a positive 5. Okay, so you should have gotten a minus 1 and a plus 6. All right, 16 factors of negative 3 would be 1 and 3. And if we want to get a negative 2 in the middle, our bigger number has to be negative. Okay, so your factors should have been a plus 1 and a minus 3. And the last one on the right side, number 18, factors of negative 72. We need 2 that'll add or subtract to give you negative 14. Trying to think what that would be. Let's see, you have 1 and 72, 2 and 36, 3 and 21, no, 24, I'm sorry. 3 and 24, 4 and 18. Yeah, it should be 4 and 18. So to get a negative 14, our bigger number has to be negative. So our factors are going to be x plus 4 and x minus 18. All right, so now turn to the back. We're going to keep working on this. I'm going to do 4 on the left. Y'all are going to do 4 on the right. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so we need the factors of negative 56. So 1 and 56, 2 and 28. Let's see. 4 and 14. And 7 and 8. Okay, so which 2 will add or subtract to give you a negative 26 in the middle? Okay, and it'd be 2 and 28. So the way to get a negative 26 is to make the bigger number negative. Okay, so we're going to have a C plus 2 and C minus 28. All right, 21. We want to find the factors of 24. So 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. That's it. So which 2 will add or subtract to give you a negative 11? Okay, 3 and 8 will add up to be 11. So if you want a negative 11, both of these numbers are going to have to be negative. Negative 3 and negative 8. Okay, so my factors would be x minus 3 and x minus 8. All right, 23. We want to find the factors of 72. So 1 and 72, 2 and 36, 3 and 14, not 14, 24. 3 and 24. 4 and 18, 6 and 12, 8 and 9. Okay, so which two will add or subtract to give you a negative 17? Let's see. 9 and 8 will add up to be 17. Okay, so in order to get a negative 17, both of these numbers need to be negative. So my factors are y minus 8 and y minus 9. All right, last one that I'm going to do on the left side. We need the factors of 48. So factors of 48 would be 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16, 4 and 12, 6 and 8. Okay, so which two will add or subtract to give you a negative 16? Four and 12 will add up to be 16. So if you want to get a negative 16, you're going to have to make both of these negative so they add together. So it'd be g minus 4 and g minus 12. Okay, so y'all are going to do the 4 on the right side. I'm going to give you a minute, and then we'll check. All right, so on number 20, you want to find the factors of negative 84, and the two that'll add or subtract to give you a negative 5 would be, oh gosh, let's see, you would have 1 and 84, 2 and 42, 3 and 28, 4 and 21, 6 and 14, and what else? Let's see, 7 and 12. So the two that'll add or subtract to give you a negative 5 would be 7 and 12. And to get a negative 5, your bigger number would have to be negative. So y plus 7 and y minus 12 is what you should have gotten. Okay, the next one, you should have found factors of 49. And the two that'll add or subtract to give you a negative 14 would be 7 and 7. Okay, So to get a negative 14, both of these would have to be negative. So x minus 7 and x minus 7. Okay. 24, you should have found the factors of 50. And the two factors that add or subtract to give you a negative 15 are 5 and 10. But to get a negative 15, you have to make them both negative. So you should have gotten m minus 5 and m minus 10. Okay, 26, factors of 2 are 1 and 2. And if we want to get a negative 3 in the middle, both of these have to be negative. Okay, so c minus 1 and c minus 2. All right, the next four, they have more than one letter in them. So what you want to do is make sure that, like, my first term would be x times x would give me x squared, and my last term would have a y times a y, right, to give you y squared. And once you figure that out, you don't have to worry about the letters anymore. You can find your factors of 42, like we have been doing. Okay, so 1 times 42, 2 times 21, 6 times 7. And the two that'll add or subtract to give you 13 in the middle would be 6 and 7. Okay, so I would put plus 6y and x plus 7y for my answer. So like I said, if you can go ahead and do the letters first, it might make it easier where you don't have to worry about them anymore. So like 29, I have m squared at the beginning. So I know I'm going to have an m times m at the beginning of my factors. And then my last term is n squared, so I have to have an n times an n, right? Okay, so now I can do it like normal. I can find my factors of negative 24, and I get 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. That's it. Okay, so which two will add or subtract to give you a 2 in the middle? And it would be 4 and 6. But to get a 2, you'd have to do 6 minus 4. Okay, so my factors would be m minus 4n and m plus 6n. Okay, so I want you to try the two on the right. They're very similar to this. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to work on those, and then we'll check.